Aloha, my friends and family. I'm back, even though I didn't have exact directions and got lost and left my vitamin C beverage. Today I'm going to talk to you about the uber important topic that's written in my heart, of course, and that is how in now is true omnipotence and time is bondage and glue to the matrix. Death memory wipe system, perpetual slavery and bondage. I've got to roll like that, you know, the fakest and cruelest gods of all. Shit, they made it a little bit over freezing in Charleston nearly all day. How sick can it get, y'all? So I'll spend the whole day funky. I'll spend the whole day stoned, acting silly like a monkey just to help me feel it up. Is it the end or the beginning? Or how about another ending? About when you know true love is never ending. Right here, right now. There is no other place I wanna be. Right here, right now. Helping the world wake up from history. Now is true omnipotence. Not the fake junior gods. They just have convinced you that for a very long time. Which is bondage or glue to the matrix. So, of course, since the beginning days of this system, perpetual servitude that we're stuck in here, most humans are still in, within Inky's ancient slavery planetary matrix, we are taught that, you know what, phonetically, if you think about it, the word time, tie me. Thanks to my friend David Bliss for pointing that out. And you know what? I'm going to sit on this cruiser. And so we are taught that time is in a straight line. And before this moment is past and it's gone. And the past is infinite, but it's all gone. And the future also only goes in this straight line, but it is also infinite and unknown, right? But karmically based on our actions that we do now, right? This is what we're taught in the mainstream schools and media, right? So the truth, the shamanic and the truth of the Mother Christ is a little bit different than that. That's only a part of it, of course. Of course, like in the mainstream religions, they leave a few threads, a few scriptures of truth in the Bible. So, this is, of course, a partial truth and partial lie. And the real now is the access point. The access point to infinity and omnipotence. As Lucifer was known in the past as Kronos. Think about that sick painting, the famous painting. Kronos, or Father Time, was depicted by the sick painting by Goya as an old man eating his own child. There's a very important reason why that was the depiction, okay? So even if you take away all of the ritual abuse, all of the adrenochrome harvesting, and all of the black magic in the media, at the obvious surface level, this painting by Goya is a picture of humans' energy being taken by time. And consequentially, our bodies, in the fake ass aging process, our bodies and our souls are eaten by time. And we get old and die. Then we have all our memories wiped, and ad nauseum in perpetuity. Isn't God great? No, our fake junior gods are greatly powerful at harm. What is the real reason for time in this time-based planetary slave matrix? Of course, it is to feed God the Father all of our energy and remain stuck as slaves for the cleverest vampires ever, literally. That's what time is for. Time is bondage to the great deceiver. What do you do? What are we going to do about this? Of course, it's easier said than done, but you open your access to timelessness, even if you can do it 5 minutes or 15 minutes a week. Make a little hole in your personal little me's entrapment into the planetary slave matrix of time by reclamation of now. Create a portal into your mind. Create a portal through your meditation into your mind to the real, omnipotent, full, divine, original power of the original creator, Christ Sophia, by allotting time out of time. Time out of time. By setting or making space. That's right, making space. Making space in your shed you all to stop shedding your all a little bit of the weak or a little bit of your strong. Stop shedding you all for Chronos and commune your soul with her true majesty through meditating or traveling within, having a healthy dance, trance, or psychedelic experience in a controlled setting where you feel comfortable, only using organic plants when you think about it, before the forcing of microwave cell phone usage on most humans on this planet. The matrix loose drip paradigm of soul slavery was established directly after Lucifer created or infiltrated all Western religions, as I've said in many videos, through the, guess what started it, man? Guess what made it so that they could enforce time on you? It was the invention of the 12-hour clock. I think the first one that was publicly used was Big Ben in London. So Big Ben was the first, I believe, I'm pretty sure, one placed in the Decepticons' stronghold neighborhood of London, where the Rothschilds had established their dynasty, perhaps for centuries by then. Ever since this area, in this era when they put the clock in, through coercion, conquest, threats, wars, and black magic trickery, like the mortgage, where you pay them back your whole lifetime when they add more on, time was universally, gradually, just like the frog in the pot analogy I used in the last video, time was universally, gradually forced and accepted as reality. I'm a songwriter, and I'll tell you, and I'm a deep thinking philosopher, and I'll tell you, the only times when I've been real in those occupations is when I was not running late for a job. I don't think I would have ever written any good songs if I was running late for a job every day, man, because I would be so stressed out, just like a normie. I wouldn't have time to think in that. I wouldn't have time. See, for me, the best melodies I've written were basically channeling, is the way I look at it. But they weren't some reptilians. They were some respectful divine ETs I was channeling to come up with those melodies, right? We have a train, looks like a cargo train. Maybe the only passengers would be people that hop on the trains beside the conductor. So just like the so-called cost of living going up, the so-called cost of food going up, time was gradually forced and accepted as reality. Spiritually, nothing could be further from the truth. Time is the lie the Matrix is built on. This is why people are willing to rob and kill and run wars to pay for their rent and their property tax and mortgage, because they believe the lie that we're all separate and that's what matters above all else. You see, I and I might die or leave the flesh suit tomorrow. So, if you do not live your dream now, will you ever really exist? Or if you can be like I've been many times in the past, I was living out my dream part-time, a little bit. I had the courage to do it a few hours a week. Well, that helps your soul better than none. Shamans, healers, and psychics, enlightened masters, and intuitives have always known these things I'm talking about in this video, y'all. In the Toltec path of recapitulation and soul retrieval shamanism, it is known and taught that really the awakened mind can travel anywhere to the past or future. Check the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats if you don't believe me. Retrieve objects there and change the past or future by reconfiguring or reorienting your soul's relationship to what has happened. Removing the sting of the trauma that caused your soul to fragment and get stuck on a broken fucking record, as it would sound in your mind. It's very, it's very strong shamanic shadow work, the path of recapitulation and the recapitulation breath and or the, soul retrieval shamanism. Repeating a sick or wounded perception, feeding loose to the vampires who control time consistently until you die, are soul recycled, and do it again forever until you wake up from this deception. This is a form of very extremely, for most of us, extremely challenging shadow work. But a strong spirit can get free now, or get almost free now. How do genius souls create amazing inventions? How do people change their entire future? How do some ensouled humans astral project or remote view or see what their friend is doing on the other side of the world? How does Alex Collier travel in his mind to communicate with soul beings that live in the Andromeda galaxy? The answer is they expand and awaken their awareness to the Creator within by expanding their soul's life. Okay? Inside the now. They know that through what Carlos Castaneda called dreaming, that they could expand their awareness to do these. First, you got to believe it's possible. Then you can learn the technique. Being truth that's possible. Now is the only 100% real moment. Everybody that really thinks about it knows. Now is your access point to the really omnipotent Creator. The real omnipotent Creator. The original goddess Christ Sophia, who gifted us all with free will originally, and if you're awake is still, or if you become awake, will be reborn in your heart. Thus, you will not you will realize how pathetic it is to abuse others verbally or physically. All the songs I've ever written, all the ideas for my videos, almost 96% of all my videos for video ideas were received in a meditation in the morning in quiet, open moments of now, with maybe only some caffeine in my body for inspiration as far as plant drugs. And getting real to her love now is the only way that's open to everyone, to, even if it is the tragedy of only doing it temporarily, escaping the soul-sucking matrix of time. What great things I have ever written or created when I was running late for work? None. And thus all of the exoteric gods and the beings who can make it almost freezing in Charleston all day for 2 or 3 months at a time in the year 2024, and landlords and exterior bosses, governments, they all co-opt the time-based slavery matrix, and via or through their egos, separation into boxes, and narcissism running rampant, time and slavery are kept alive and maintained. And that's how it's done. Even though they are partially a lie. Okay? What is time really? Okay, what is time really beside now? It is measurable moments of duration, like a day, a year, 365 days. We know the planet makes a full rotation around our sun, Sol, Helios, right? So I am not 100% opposed wallpaper or fiat money still has value for someone to work an hourly wage job temporarily. They feel that they can't figure out any other way to do it, to work for someone else. But knowing that it's temporary, what I'm opposed to 100% is the type of boss who I was fired for being 5 minutes late for a job. 3 different jobs, hourly wage jobs. I was fired as a young man for being 5 minutes late. And the third time, I'm sure by the third time I thought, especially that I was into cannabis, wow, there's something wrong with this system. If, because some of those jobs, I liked the jobs, and they fired me for being 5 minutes late. Traveling back to Charleston, I had a layover in the JFK airport in New York City, and I actually saw them firsthand, what I'd only seen in a video. And it was a young man, I believe a Jewish rabbi, who they actually have they wear this thing, and it's a black cube over their third eye. It's a little thing, a black cube. Now, if there's not a more overt reference to Saturn in what I put at the thumbnail of my last video, and how that relates to all my other stuff, I'm not even going to go into it. But if there's not a more overt symbol of what is ending as far as the cube and clock-based reality matrix, then this guy his religion is so far back into the age of Aries that they still wear the cube. It was a trip, man. I never thought I'd see one of those guys in person. I didn't know that, there's so many, I guess, Hasidic Jews in New York City that, you might see one of them yourself. It's a trip. He was looking down into his cell phone. He didn't see me. Obviously, time is a paradox that must be transcended. In the Mayan calendar, which is another fascinating shamanic study of an old world shamanic culture that I barely know much about, I just put a comment on a video interview with Michael Saryan and Neil on Portal to Ascension that I'm studying it, and that's kind of a half truth. I got to hold true to my word on that. And but I wasn't lying. I do have a button on my bottom of my computer on the ready-made, or the quick bar for the Mayan calendar from STARROOT, starroot.com, and it's really hard to find in there, so I can put a link if anyone's interested in that. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll put a link on your comment. So the Mayan calendar, somehow, I don't know, I believe that they were taking some heavy psychedelic plants, and the shamans, and they decoded this. You could say it was from the angels or from the beings above that. I'm not sure how, whether you could say that they probably, actually, to be honest with you, they probably included Lucifer's time clock as well as the Almighty Sophia's original cycles of duration. Okay, so really the Mayans are. It's an amazing thing if you study the Mayan time, and my Mayan it's linear and cyclical, and it looks just like human DNA. The Mayan clock. It looks like an Ouroboros, and linear and human DNA. So they encompass all of these facets of time, okay? So, but in my Mayan cosmology, the prayer or saying is, I am guided by the power of timelessness. So this video is really a shout out to my own soul and my soul fragment and the master behind me, as well as all those listening out there or watching who have the same prayer that we help to bridge, and I'm a white planetary world bridger in the Maya, and help to bridge humanity into the realms of the spiritually real, beyond the slave matrix of forced oppression through the clock, man-made, especially the man-made artifice of the clock, or what I call Glock time. I'm guided by the power of timelessness, but not in the bondage of time-based slavery or suicidally putting my body in Father Kronos' ugly jaws. But in the timeless now, I feel empowered. In the timeless now, I have visited. In my 46 years in this flesh suit, I have visited the infinite power of the real omnipotent creator, and maybe so too can you. If you like this, if you haven't already, click subscribe, hit the bell for more. And if you're into learning more about how Lucifer runs things in the war, check me out on Odyssey.com or Rumble. And I know, just like these birds, there's a possibility that anyone watching this, or even myself, could touch the numinous, have a glimpse into the amazing majesty of the real Christ and the real power of free will that was given as the artist within her is within us, and be at one as a human family, as these birds are behind me. And I know within that I be truth, the power of creation, the possibility that you as well can create a great one. This is the real church. Peace, y'all. The real church that only has one person, at least, or until you watch this. Loving you, fam.